Patriot Front, are they real or are they a fabrication of the federal government designed to make patriots look bad? Or, if you're like most people, you just went online, you typed in Patriot Front, and the first hit you got was the Anti-Defamation League. And it said Patriot Front is a white supremacist group whose members maintain that their ancestors conquered America and bequeathed it to them and nobody else. And you would say, sounds like a white supremacist organization, case closed. Ooh, what if you're a free thinker? What if you're a libertine? What if you like to explore all the ideas? You're just asking questions. Well, leave it to the experts like Joe Rogan?
Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Where's the fat people? How come they're all wearing the same clothes? Do that again. What the fuck is this? Have you ever seen anything that looks more like feds? Tell me that doesn't look like feds. You're telling me the FBI is not monitoring fringe groups and they were not aware these people are this fucking organized? Out of nowhere they pop out with the same size flags and the same outfit on, goose stepping. They're walking, not goose stepping, but walking right at the same pace in a fucking orderly line. Like who organized this? Look at this. The fuck out of here. How do they all have like uniformed outfits on? They have the same color pants for the most part. Very little variation. They have tan or brown pants. Dark blue shirts with a fucking stupid flag on it. This asshole's got a drum! Back that up! Look at the fucking drum! Bitch, are you Paul Revere? What the fuck are you doing with that drum? He's walking around with a band drum.
It's
like
white
a high
power
school
drum
band.
line.
This is so stupid, it hurts my feelings.
Which Patriot Front member is your favorite? Is it the drummer? Add your favorite Patriot Front member in the comments. Let me know. You got a favorite one. I know it seems like this is a really ridiculous thing, but people actually believe this. Like, go into a comment section anywhere where Patriot Front is being mentioned, and you'll just see lots of replies of people saying like they're fake. You know what? It's also like a comical point for conservatives to like think that they're not real.
I've been a casting director for over 20 years, and whether you're doing a movie, a Broadway show, or a psyop, it all comes down to casting. President Biden said that white supremacy was the single most dangerous terrorist threat in the United States, so we're doing our part to convince everyone that's true with this Patriot Front production. Right, Agent Garrick?
This is really frustrating me. Just need some time to sit down, relax, touch some grass. Hey, you. Do you think Patriot Front is like created by the FBI to make patriots look bad?
Fuck, they're just fucking virgins, man. I'm sorry. Like, people like that, like alt-right people, they're just fucking losers. There's no other word for it. They're not like chads. They're just fucking losers.
Sometimes you just gotta take some walks to calm down after just seeing stressful things. But I want to make it clear, if it's not already, that all of these groups are using these talking points that Patriot Front, they're a bunch of feds, they're not real, that they're a psyop. It's because all of these right-wing propagandists know it looks terrible that they're on the same side as a white nationalist, fascist, Sig Heiling group. So the only way they have to do this is to ignore that they've existed for 6+ years at this point. So maybe you clicked on this because you saw like the really funny thumbnail. But the truth here is like that's not photoshopped. I actually was in front of Patriot Front. I took a selfie with them. It was in Washington, D.C. It was a very cold day in 2022. But As it turns out, that was a big day. That's when the rocket chats got leaked. For those who don't know, like Rocket Chat is like similar to Discord. It's where Patriot Front moved over after the last time their Discord chat got leaked. My friend Molly got to personally tell them that their chats got leaked. Thanks, Molly.
Hey guys! Your rocket chat just got leaked on DDoS Secrets! Unicorn Riot just dropped your rocket chat, everything, all your DMs! All your DMs, the metadata attached.
Why do you have your shield up?
The video.
No one is going to hurt you. We're just gonna make fun of you.
The videos that you send your network leaders, those all have metadata, and Unicorn Riot is posting them right now.
Drop families!
Drop
nations! Drop families!
Drop nations! You're all getting doxxed over it.
Joe Rogan sits in his nice studio. He gets paid top dollar. He has a big deal with Spotify. He has a guy named Jamie who can look things up. But he doesn't just look up who Patriot Front is. Like, if I had the money Joe Rogan had, I would hire a private investigator, go out, tell me some cool stuff about the worst people every week. If anybody's got a couple 100 million laying around, hit me up. I know a private investigator I can hire. Since I've got some time on my hands, and I know some people, and I've gone through a lot of videos and court records, chat logs that have been leaked, turns out these people have names. You can look them up. All out there. So Patriot Front started up in September of 2017. For those who may remember, something happened a month before. Unite the Right in Charlottesville. Something I was also at. Very terrifying, very scary. There was the Torch March. That's right, tiki torches on the UVA campus. And in fact, Thomas Rousseau was there. Thomas Rousseau would go on to found Patriot Front. Now, if you're curious on whether or not this is a genuine person who is into white supremacy and fascism, why don't you just hear it from his own words in 2017?
Well, I'm a fascist myself, so I'm not really allying with them. I am one. So the thing is that, it's viewed mostly from the social aspect. What we see is economics is extremely important, and a lot of people have economic opinions and economic values, and they want to see certain economic things, but we realize that something that unites us all is that we believe that white heritage and white culture is something that's vastly important and worth fighting for. And while we may disagree, some of us may be capitalists and some of us may be anti-capitalists, but definitely none of us are communists. And definitely none of us are socialists.
All right. Do you mind sharing your name and which particular kind of organization you...
Vanguard America.
Thomas Rousseau, being in Vanguard America, didn't last much longer. The group fell apart. Thomas Rousseau wrestled control away from, even kicking the actual founder, Dylan Hopper, out of the group chats. Dylan Hopper would later go and testify in court that Thomas Rousseau personally gave a Vanguard America shield to James Alex Fields, the man who committed murder, drove his car into the crowd, killing one person, Heather Heyer, and injuring 20 more people. After Vanguard America collapsed, Patriot Front was founded with Thomas Rousseau as their firm leader in charge. When Thomas Rousseau was in Charlottesville, he didn't just magically appear. The FBI didn't airdrop him. He personally testified in court that he got driven in a van from Texas to Virginia with a guy by the name of Robert Ray, also known as Asmodor. At that time, Asmodor was the editor for Daily Stormer, the largest, most popular white supremacist newsletter out there. How does a young little guy like that get connected with it? Shortly after Patriot Front was founded, there was a rally in Houston, giving their big heartwarming speech by some statue that they want to save or whatever. Who cares about statues? The next day, they targeted a book fair, an anarchist book fair, running in there trying to disrupt it before the organizers and attendees were able to rally and push them out of the room. So at the onset, there is a deliberate targeting of left-wing organizations. Wasn't much later, in San Antonio, Patriot Front physically attacked ICE protesters. Now, you can get into this sort of like conflict if you're still staying with me and you still think that Patriot Front is created by the federal government. You might start having a point here, because the federal government creating a shadow group to attack left-wing protesters in defense of federal things like ICE? I guess if that's what you want to believe, it's wrong, but if that's what you want to believe, you're holding on to some better ground here. Patriot Front is an extremely centralized group. That's right. Patriot Front has Thomas Rousseau at the front, at the top, almost like an MLM. That's right. Everything in the world is actually an MLM. Then you have state leaders having different regions across the country, making other people go out and buy the same type of Patriot Front patches and jackets. That's why they all have matching uniforms. It's mandatory to go buy it. They hate to see a girl boss winning. Rousseau is extremely nitpicky about personal image. And in fact, even in these leaked documents that have come out, there is recruitment requirements. People can't look a certain way. They have to fit in this type of aesthetic. No fat people, no cringe, have to require people to run a mile in a certain time. There's physical training exercises. It is an image-obsessed group around the aesthetics of what they think everyone should look like. They're totally detail-oriented. How does their security get infiltrated? So this is where Unicorn Riot gets really important. How they obtain these is a little tricky. It usually comes from somebody pretending to be an interested person coming in and joining the organization, getting access to private chats, and then finding a way to make them public. This is what happened in Unite the Right when their Discord got leaked. That same Discord was used in court and verified by the defendants that it was the same thing. This is no different. In fact, as I was writing the script, Patriot Front members sued an infiltrator that made their chats public, claiming that it caused them to lose their job. But what also is important is that they were doing illegal activities in that chat. Patriot Front surpassed other white supremacist, white nationalist groups around 2019-2020, when a group by the name of Identity Europa tried changing their name to American Identitarian Movement. None of this worked. They got sued, couldn't escape it. The individuals that were running it just got tired. Patrick Casey, log off. Goodbye. Please stop. Patriot Front members have these, they call it activism. It could be stickering in areas, having their big banners, just making public displays. There seemed to be troubles with that. They kept getting arrested doing activism. One of the members, Jacob Zack. Jacob Zack was found to have illegal weapons in addition to being a Patriot Front member. Jeffrey Cross had ghost guns. He was printing off guns and they had no serial numbers because you made them up. Oops, that's a crime. Samuel Cordoba, another Patriot Front member, he got probation for attacking people at a drag show. I wonder if this will come up later. Chris Hood. He was putting up stickers in the Boston area, and him and some other Patriot Front members got stopped by police, and Chris Hood assaulted a police officer, and he got arrested for that. Chris Hood would also go on to create National Socialist Club 131. Sounds like a comically fake name. It's the Boston area code. Chris Hood, he got kicked out of Patriot Front. He actually stole money. And of course, Thomas Rousseau got arrested with 2 other Patriot Front members when he was putting up stickers. Texas, okay. So this is how we get the beautiful mugshot right here. What makes it so beautiful, you can see his height. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being 5'7". If you're 5'7" up, go off, King. Bravo, short kings. The problem here is the short man complex. This is somebody who's absolutely image obsessed. And to appear to be shorter than all the people around him has caused him to always wear cowboy shoes and a big cowboy hat every time he's out in public. That's right. Everybody else wears those masks. Thomas Rousseau, he's mask-free. He's got his signature fake cowboy look. Get him, partner. Howdy. Patriot Front is trying to get all this attention from defacing murals. That's right. Every time you deface a mural, you get your name in the paper, maybe just the local paper, and it gives your Patriot Fronters some street cred. Come out and join us. Except there's a situation here in my hometown, Richmond. Richmond is home to tennis legend Arthur Ashe. In fact, Monument Avenue removed all their Confederate statues, and the only one left is Arthur Ashe. He came from Richmond during segregation. He wasn't allowed to play on the tennis courts of Richmond. He had to travel outside just to play the sport that led him to win Wimbledon in. But the mural of him, dedicated to him in Battery Park, a majority black neighborhood in Richmond, was defaced by Patriot Front. And for some reason, they posted it in their own propaganda channel, secretly, thinking it would never get put anywhere. Well, turns out it did, and they discovered the people that did it. And community members in Richmond fought back. They filed a lawsuit against the people that did that. And it's still ongoing, but it's proof that they're real people, that they exist, that they're not a fabrication of the FBI. You can look up those names if you want. If you want to give me evidence that, one of them went to the FBI Academy, then maybe I'll change my tune here, but I'm not being presented any of that information. I'm looking up all of these people, and it's all dead ends, that they're just random dudes that work other jobs. Patriot Front holds their rallies in Washington, D.C. And I can see them. I've watched them. Their shields and flags get dropped off by a U-Haul truck. They come in by subway because they don't have a bus large enough to transport all those members. So they come in by subway, someone drops off their gear from a U-Haul truck, they do their march, they go back in the U-Haul truck and take the subway back out. Seems like a pretty straightforward story, right? Through the magic of getting video leaked, through the magic of officers' body cams that become public, it's now out there.
And for your information, everything is being recorded as well, visibly and audibly. So everything we're saying and y'all saying is everything being recorded. Just to let y'all know.
You got all angles.
Yeah.
You got that camera, you got this camera,
You got this,
cameras, you got these
everything.
Oh yeah. We're famous, boys.
Only to discover that all of their vehicles have been greatly damaged. Their cars smashed, the windows, paint thrown on them, tires slashed.
Oh, they fucking smashed it?
Yeah, smashed.
What's Patriot Front? What is that?
Come on, man. Look, come on. I mean, seriously, we're not stupid, man.
Okay. Well, it's pink paint on these. Well, it's white paint on some of these. It looked like primer paint. And some cars got pink paint. And then the bus got spray painted with pink paint and they smashed out the window.
It is proof that they just don't disappear. My favorite part of this is there's an officer who's like talking to them, and he finds out that they're Patriot Front, and he looks up at the phone and he's like, oh, turns out they're a white supremacist organization.
So that's it. That's a hate. That's a hate nationalist group.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
That's what I
like
mean.
we're not gonna find out.
Good thing he didn't find Rogan first, because if he found Rogan, he would be like, oh, hello, federal officers. The most convincing slam dunk reason why you should believe these guys are not federal agents is in Idaho. They come to protest a drag event, a drag time story hour, the menace of our society, unlike these white supremacists that are absolutely federal figments of our imagination. No. Patriot Front comes to this event in northern Idaho. It was brought to the attention of libs of TikTok. That's right, they're getting their information from libs of TikTok. They're going in, gonna disrupt this. No subway for them to go on, so they're all 31 of them transported in a U-Haul truck, coming from across the country. None of these guys live in Idaho. So they get arrested for conspiracy to riot. It's a misdemeanor charge, but it's enough to hold them overnight and have their mugshots taken. Now, some people point to when they were initially stopped and pulled out of the truck, and they all had their masks on. And you can see absolutely brilliant, smashing 10 out of 10 commentary. They still have their masks on when they arrest. There's 31 Patriot Front members. Mugshots exist, name exists, and in fact, you can look into them. You can find their history. And some of them pled guilty. You know, it's a misdemeanor charge. They're not gonna throw you away and lock away the key. But one person who was noticeably missing his court date was a guy by the name of Jared Boyce. Jared Boyce missed his court date because he was in federal custody. They searched his phone. They found child sex abuse material. That's right. There was a guy who joined a white supremacist group who was going to protest Drag Time Story Hour because they were grooming children who had child sex abuse material on the same phone. So I guess I gotta say, they gotta be real. I mean, you don't sue somebody for exposing you if they they exposed you as a guy who doesn't work for the FBI. It's what it is. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, trust me, bro. Patriot Front, not feds. Hey, thanks for watching. If you don't hit like, don't hit subscribe, don't hit that notification bell, you're obviously a fed. Also, I got a Patreon. Patreon.com/GodeGatsby. Maybe the next time I make a video about a white supremacist organization, I'll say, thanks, Jennifer, for helping me make the video. And then you'll be like, am I roped in this too?